Welcome everyone to today's RE-FEM Talk. My name is Orsolya Gergely. I am sociologist, and in this RE-FEM Erasmus Plus project, we started in last month this RE-FEM Talk series, and today on 8th March, on International Women's Day, we are excited to have Kinga Kelemen with us, the founder of a sustainable, eco-conscious, slow fashion brand from Romania. Today we'll explore the world of sustainability, her journey as an entrepreneur, and we will mention the role of women play in shaping a more sustainable future and a more conscious business. Thank you, Kinga, for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me. Hello, everyone.
And to start, let's talk about the beginnings of Lanelka, your brand. What inspired you to create a sustainable business?
Hello, everyone. Thanks for inviting me. Lanelka started back when my third child was born, and I was intrigued by the idea of using textile diapers instead of the disposable ones. And there was a big trend in Romania back then about the textile diapers and the reuse of diapers. And it was a sustainability decision, although we didn't call it that way. It was more of a financial decision as well, because you were supposed, as a mother, I had this very bad image of a room full of used diapers as something a child and the mother produces during their 3 years. And this room was really was kind of a nightmare for me. I didn't want to create that kind of mess around me and for the earth. So that's how I started, because I discovered that there are alternatives, and one of the alternatives of disposable diapers is using wool covers. So especially the upcycled wool covers, which are made of sweaters, which are already shrunken, and that's how it started, but not my business, just the journey. That's this part of the journey, because I decided I will use wool diapers and wool covers for my child, and I was so intrigued by this the wool and its properties and how it is so good to the skin and also very environmental friendly. So I dived into this wool idea. And I created the wool covers for my child, and then I created some pants for the friends and some wool covers for them. And then I realized that there is a niche here, and I started to sell them online without any form of legal entity. And but the idea was to convince more people to produce less waste. Basically, that's the sustainable part. And just a side story, in Romania, sustainability for me started after the change in 1989, when along with the fast fashion brands came also the second-hand shops and charity shops. And there was always my thing to choose the second one and not the first one, and not going to with the flow of the mainstream fast fashion, but starting to create my own wardrobe from second-hand shop, and that was not called sustainability back then, but it was, and it was part of the circular economy, and I kept doing it since then. So I'm not buying stuff from the mall, and I'm not buying fast fashion brands. I'm more of a thrifter in the thrift shops and the charity shops, and I'm looking for these kind of special clothes which are fitting my style, and they are also part of the circular economy and not something new. So these two ideas came together into Lanelka. when I started first with upcycling wool, going to thrift shops and buying old sweaters which are not used, especially from the natural materials, and creating something for the kids, using the mainly using the male pullover as a canvas, and working with it to make a child's trouser, for example, or a blouse or whatever. So it was like the idea behind it is to prolong the life of a resource after after post client. So it's like more this part of the circular economy that was my thing when I started Lanelka.
Mm-hmm.
And then came always that came with the idea of looking for sustainable new material providers. So I came across the dead end stocks in Europe of famous factories, and so now I'm using materials from from dead end stocks. And that is also part of prolonging the life of a product and the life of the textile. This is all going somehow against fast fashion and against this idea of using something for a short while and then throw it away.
And how old is now your third child? How old is the business?
My third child is 10, and the business itself, Lanelka, is turning 5 this year. So we are at the very beginning of our journey, and still working on how to make it work.
Building on that, what you already said, let's discuss how business can integrate this sustainability in both financial and environmental aspects. What steps can an entrepreneur take to achieve this kind of point of view and balance?
It depends on the business. We can't. I mean, I wouldn't go and say you do this and this and this, because I'm not a sustainability expert. I can tell what I did. Like for me, it was very important always to find the resources which are already trash for somebody else or waste for somebody else. So that's how we prolong the life of a product or of a textile. This was and still is very important aspect of me. But this is also part. So like, it sounds very how to say pompous, but there are practicals behind it, because if you are a small business, for example, like really small, like 1, 2, 3 people working in a small shoe shop, like where I work, or Lanelka is, it's you don't how to say, you don't reach the interest point of a big factory. Because you cannot order that big amount of material. For example, if I would contract someone to make materials, natural materials like wool, for me, the first initial investment in the material would be, let's say, big. It would be 20,000 euro for one color and one. For the factory to produce it to me. So I am somehow, as a small business, forced to go with the leftovers of other big orders. So this is the dead end stock concept that some big players in the field, in the fashion field, are ordering the big amount of materials, but there is always leftover which is not used. So the leftover used are ending up in dead end stock stores, and that's where I come in, because I create something unique style, and I create a little series or mini series, or just 2 or 3 pieces out of one material. So I don't need big amount of material. So the size of the business also means that it is more sustainable this way. Also, the size of the business, like the small business, means that I don't have enough energy and resources to put it into the materials. So I create, I don't know, a lot of pieces. So I work basically or mainly with made to order style. So client comes in and I create something specially for them. So that is also part of the sustainability. But it means like when you are small, you have no other choice. I don't know if you sense the paradox, but it's not that I'm big and I choose to be sustainable. I'm small and I have to be sustainable.
It's a must for you.
Yes, yes, yes. So back to your question, this is how to find your most environmental friendly materials to work with. This is something which can be part of a sustainable business. Also, if you choose to prolong something which was already made, that's also part of the sustainable business. Make to order instead of creating big stocks, which then are sold at the minimum price because nobody wants them anymore. That's also something to avoid. And I'm talking about fashion production in general and small businesses in small fashions. So these are, how to say, rules which can be, so you can follow as an entrepreneur, you can follow your own instinct because you need to be also sustainable financially. So you need to find the cheapest, but the most good quality for the cheapest price. So you have to work and find a balance between these two. So at the end, the client is getting a product which is I would say premium or luxury quality in terms of the material used because they are natural materials and they are very environmental friendly and also at a price that they can afford. So it's an ongoing balance between these.
So you say that an entrepreneur is if a woman or a man thinks about sustainability, it's a good thing if it's a small or micro firm.
I don't know if it's a good thing, if it or a bad thing, because I don't know how. I don't have experience with bigger firms. Mine is small and stays small, and still I call myself an artisan in a way that I touch with my hand everything that goes out of the shop. So it's like there is no automatization, there is no so it's like handmade. Of course, it's not handmade. It's machine made, but we still work with our hands to create all this, and we work sustainably in this part as well. But I'm sorry, what was the question?
It's a positive things to remain or being a small one.
Yeah, in terms of sustainability, it is in terms of financial sustainability is a challenge. It always is because if you create your business model staying small, then that is also somehow blocking the growth in a way. If you dream big, like some people do, then you have to get you have for the financial sustainability of this dream, or you have to make compromises on the sustainability or the environmental sustainability of it. But I really don't know because this is only my experience of it, and I think small and sustainable is the way I like it.
Okay, and you already mentioned a few things about this, but let's look at how can other business adopt similar approaches? Because you spoke about the sustainability practices at your firm, at Lanelka, at your brand, and how can other businesses adopt similar approaches?
As I mentioned earlier, it depends on the type of the business. But you can always, for example, look at your carbon footprint and check it. And there are some really good advisors out there on sustainability, so you can reach to them as well and ask, how can I make my business more sustainable? Like, for example, in Romania now there is a big there are some big projects on digitalization of businesses. So there are some consultants who are looking at your business and offer you or propose you different ways to automatization and digitalization, so you be more competitive. In this way as well, there are some sustainability advisors who can come to your and look at your business from an outside point of view and check if the paper you are printing is eco-friendly, you are not printing more than you should, like this part of the management of the business, or you adjust your working hours to daylight stuff and all these kind of things, which are, or you use the bulbs, but like the eco bulbs instead of the normal bulbs, and all these little things which make more make environmental friendly your business. But the biggest issue is related to your resources and how you source what you sell. If you are buying on a China on a shop coming from China, and you are drop shipping from there, that's not very sustainable. We know that. It's the price is paid. If it's not paid by client and it's not paid by the business, then it's paid by the environment. So yes, these things are making sense if you look at them. So try to resource locally for your business and for what you do, and try to offer it locally, or try to make the environmental impact as small as you can.
Great advices. Shifting a little bit, I would like to hear you about thoughts on role of women in regarding to sustainability, but sustainability regarding to entrepreneurship as well. Since we know that even in households, studies show that women are more eco-friendly and giving more attention and energy in this kind of things. What are your thoughts on the role of women regarding to the whole thing and regarding to entrepreneurship as well?
I'm not surprised that the studies are showing that the women have more interest in this. It's because I guess it's simply because they are making the decisions related for food supply in the house, for clothes supply in the house, for all the things which have environmental impact. So when you make a decision and when you are the decision maker of the whole household, of course you will be more you try to be more sustainable. And of course, if the women are making these decisions, they are more their attention is more, so it's more it's like who is making the decisions related to what food we buy, what clothes the children are wearing, etc. So there is a gender gap here, but it's related to the decision making process of the household itself, not a gender issue in that sense. It just shows the way our society works. I think.
And do you think that women approach sustainability differently than men entrepreneurs?
I don't have an answer to that. I don't know. My gut feeling is that we have different approaches, not only towards sustainability, but sustainability is included in the I think I wouldn't generalize. I don't have studies behind this because and I don't like to generalize, but my feeling is that the attention towards this part of the business when it's run by a woman is different than when it's run by men. It is somehow related to the question before, because when we are entrepreneurs, in the meantime, we are the decision makers in the household relating to our consumer style, and that is somehow related to how do we do business. For example, like just one little thing about how I am approaching the idea of a woman worker, like a colleague of mine. I don't have any problem, and I am very conscious about not having any problem if the women I am working with or my colleagues are taking a day off because of childcare, because of family health issues, because of a dentist appointment, etc. So for me, as a working mother, it's absolutely normal that there are some duties which can be interfering with the work hours, and then I don't want that person to be I don't know, somehow conflicted by this, that she has working hours but she has this duty. We always agree on, you have this thing, you go, and then you work extra hours tomorrow. So I'm very flexible on this. And this is, I think, part of my way of running a business, and my way is very feminine. So I am paying attention to this kind of decisions more than someone who works with employees at with banking hours and not interested in their gender. I cannot ignore the fact that our society is constructed on the women working also on the household, also with the children, also with their in their professional field, and that is something which shouldn't be conflicted. So that's how I approach my colleagues' work hour, for example. But this is, I think, this is for example, a feminine thing. Mm-hmm. And as part of the sustainability of the business, I'm not planning to be very strict on the hours and have an unhappy and interiorly conflicted woman working with me as a colleague, and I'm avoiding that consciously.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of women in business, how can women entrepreneurs support each other in fostering sustainability and making a bigger impact? Do you have ideas regarding to this?
I think there is, I see a tendency, and I think it is a very important tendency, and I'm part of it in a more in a quite important way. I see a tendency of communities here, of building communities, and I think it's very important that we have to consciously work on this, as even as entrepreneurs, to build a community around us with similar problems and similar issues and similar challenges, so we can talk about it. So there is so if there is a woman entrepreneur, she is not alone with all the issues she is handling, and it is very important that she has women around her who understand her. So I cannot underline more the importance of community here. And here in Transylvania, we have a very, very big women entrepreneur community, Hungarian-speaking women entrepreneur community, and there is also an association called Nove, and I'm part of the association, and we are working on making this community flourish and grow, and helping each other and mentoring each other. So this is part of a way we show that there is help and you are not alone. And this is, I think it's a very important issue. So building a community is part of this, mentoring each other in different ways. And of course, it is around sustainability, but it is also around different challenges of being a women entrepreneur in Romania, of the legal challenges, of the all the other challenges which are making this not very easy. So that's how I think we can make a bigger impact, because and I'm quoting a really good friend of mine here, if we have financially stronger women, then we have a better society. So this is the way we think we can help each other, and there is knowledge out there is know-how out there, and creating a platform to share this is crucial to because we don't have to invent and reinvent the wheel again and again. If there is good practice, let's share it. If there is know-how, let's put it together and learn from each other and grow in this community format. So I think that's one of the ways, but it's a really good way.
Thank you. This should have been the last sentence heard by you, that strong women and greater society. But I have one last question in the couple 2-3 minutes we have. Do you see what sustainability trends do you see in women-led businesses, and which future opportunities excite you the most?
It's I have to confess here that it's very hard to be excited about the future under the circumstances of what we live in what we live right now, and this is something we have to acknowledge. So maybe the bright future and the dreams are a bit far from us right now, and it's very hard to talk about them. And I don't want to decline the conversation towards this, but I have to acknowledge that there is a lot of anxiety in me related to what is happening in the world, and where things are going, and how to respond to it as an individual, or as a person, or as an entrepreneur, and as a that being said, I think I hope that women entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs in general can find each and everyone their own way to their own public and to their own clients. It's an somehow open world in a sense that you can reach. There is an potential out there, and you have the tools in your pocket, on your phone. So there is a lot of work in this, but I think everyone should find their own circle of small circles of friends and family, of course. But then, if you go think in an entrepreneurial way, then all those clients who are looking for your product and for your services to offer. So because we have the world in our pocket, then there is possibility and potential for growing. And I think if there is a good business plan and there is a good idea, you can make it, and not in the American dream way, or not in the way that you get viral from one day to the other, but you can if you align with your own values, and you will find the clients who will align with your values, and you will be you can be sustainable with their help and with their money. Of course, we are talking about businesses. So do what you believe in, as an entrepreneur, do what you believe in, and then there will be crowd behind you. If you do it authentically, if you do it good, and if you do it with your heart, and if you do it sustainable, and all that, it's authenticity of the also of the entrepreneur, of the person, that will, I hope, will bring a sustainable business behind you. I don't know if I answered your question.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kinga, for sharing your insights and thoughts on sustainability and entrepreneurship and a lot more. And thank you for your work, even in this Women Entrepreneurs Association and mentoring. And so I think these are just great things. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today on 8th March, the International Women's Day, and for joining to this conversation we have about sustainability in business. And I hope this inspired you to think more about the impact of your business or your business idea, your choices, your decision, the role of women in creating a sustainability future, a sustainable future for more. So thank you very much. And for more content like this, be sure to follow the RE-FEM page because we are coming in April and May with other RE-FEM talks as well. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you, Kinga, for your great insight story. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.